They slightly are touching, and the bearing is making some noise, so we're gonna see what we're gonna do about that. Is a spoke wrench, or if you're a savage, you can use a vice grip, a box wrench that's small, or a screwdriver. The screwdriver is made for it, but the other two, not really. Let's get started here. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is just spin the wheel and see how badly it's wobbling. And there's an awful noise coming from the bearing. Probably because the person who had those rims, because they're bent like this, these are not my rims. They are mine now, but they were not mine before. Did not care about their rims at all. So you're gonna need this, right? And then you can put your finger here. That I don't suggest. It's gonna go into this bolt, and you're gonna cut your finger off. To just get something that's like metal-ish. My furry friend here is getting himself stuck behind some stuff. So you just want something metal. You just put it here. If you have painted on your rims, why do you have brakes? Because it's gonna scratch it off. If you don't have paint, it's not gonna scratch it. You see right there, it comes real close, but I don't touch. I'm gonna put it even closer. So there's more space. I'm gonna put it this close. And you see right there, so this spoke is pulling. So we're not gonna turn it a lot because this rim's built, right? We're just gonna put it on. Okay. Let's check the size here. I have no clue. I haven't done these rims yet. I'm gonna turn it. Just that. Should be enough. Now let's see. Yes, this is it. Right here. Again, a different spoke. So that's the process, and you just go to the other side, and then you want to come back to this side, and then you likely put 2 things on both to see if it's good. So I'm going to start a time lapse now. Yeah, as you see now, the rim is straight, super straight. Look at that. Right here. Look at that straightness. Well, if you can hear the clicking noise, let me spin it. There's like a clicking noise from inside the bearing. So we're gonna take it apart. I don't think there's grease, and I did ride this bike in the sand pit. So I think there's the sand in there, why it's making that noise. So let's open that up. Okay, so let's open this up now. This rim is super light. I do want to say one thing. You see how this rim is spoked like this? This makes it a lot easier to true. The back wheel, I'm doing it off camera because it's gonna take like 2 hours, 3 hours to true. You see how the spoke goes straight on this one, right? So there's no guessing. So if it's gonna pull the wheel straight or not pull the wheel straight. That's why this is easy. That's why when you see bikes that have the rim lace like this, they're the best because it's easy to true them. And the spokes, if a spoke breaks, you don't have to cross it and all that thing. And if you bend the rim, then you just take all these out, tie them together like this, and just put it in another rim. Or you put the other rim over it and you just put the spokes in. But it made it a lot easier truing it. This is the second rim that I trued like this, and they're really easy. I don't know why these are matching rims. I think the back spokes have been changed because these are original paints. They're red. The back ones have been spray painted to look red. So the back rim, something happened to it. So they probably knocked off all the spokes when they're doing something. So that's why it's like that. And these rims weren't new like that. They're from the parts bike. And if you want to know the drift bike, what's happened to it, it's abandoned right now because I stripped the whole bike. I need to fix the rims, but that rim's done. I need a rim. I have a front one. The bearings have gone out on that too, which is making noise. That bike just needs a lot of work. This bike here, there's big plans coming up for it. It's just that the timing, right? I'm starting school, so there's not going to be a lot of time. And winter's coming. In Canada, we have winters. And you can't fix not really in the winter because or build any bikes or anything like that because it's cold. We can only ride and do like that. But there will be content, but it might not be bike content. And why is this so tight? Wow, this is tight. I don't know if there's grease in it. Yeah. Wow. That's tight. I think I know what the noise was. Now I know what the noise was for sure. There's no grease in this. Myself, if there's any grease put in here, no, I never checked. You might be asking, why am I using it like this? But my wrench is 15. That fits there is missing. I lost it. Okay, I can't find it. The bike grip, I don't really care. It scratches up the bolt a little bit. Same with the wrenches. Well, you can tell it's not working. So back to what I was saying about the content. There's gonna be probably some computer stuff. I'm hoping I get that figured out. And there might be some riding in the snow maybe. This right here, I'm not messing with it. I'm gonna actually do what you're supposed to do, and I'm going to take it to a bike shop. But it's like a bike shop that you have to work on it, but there's people there that help, right? Because reasons, coaster brake, I'm tired with them. At this point, I'm never gonna get another bike except this one. I'm gonna keep with a coaster brake. You see the BMX that we did the drifting with? That bike coaster brake is blown just like this one. If it wasn't, I would have took all the parts and put it in here. I could do it, but I'm just tired of it. So yeah, there's pretty much no grease in here. Average BMX rider, never puts grease, probably some kid. Yeah, that's normal. Let's take this out. I don't know if I trust this to go back in. I think I'm just gonna push some grease in there, and then I'm going to open up the other side and do the same. So I got the grease here. I don't have that much left because thanks to this bike here. I don't know if I'm gonna open this axle. Should I? Should I not? Sure. way I discovered this noise was because I was riding it today. So today was like the pre-first day of school, whatever it's called. And when I was coming back, it was making some noise. And I thought it was the freewheel, because the freewheel is going out. I know that for sure. Because this bike has a lot of kilometers in the road, for sure. That's normal. I want to get a 12 tooth for it, and I'm going to get. A lot of people commented on my video and said about the seat post that's so tall. The reason it's like that is because I'm tall, but I am getting, you know, those laybacks, the one that's like bent, but it's like the really sharp bending one. It's not like the little one. I'm getting that for it, and then there's a lot of other stuff. I'm not gonna reveal all of it right now, but there's a lot of other stuff that have to do with a lot of work. I just dropped a bunch of bearings. Fine. How many are on one side? I don't know. On one side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So why is there 9? Can someone tell me why there's 9 and not 10? Or 8? There's 9. Weird. As you can see, no one's ever put grease on this. The whole axle. Okay, yeah, this whole axle, something is very wrong with it because, yeah, something's very wrong with this axle. But I don't care because I don't have another one, so I'm just going to. I opened it up enough where I can put the grease in. And then we can do the other side. And we don't have to deal with this axle ever again because this grease is thick. So whatever bearing noise is happening in here, it's dead now at this point. And I'm going to put way too much in it to make sure that it's done for, so there's no more bearing noise ever. I think what's happened is that someone tightened this down, the axle too much, and the threads are like ripping. That's what I think is happening. Because I did that once when I first started building bikes, and yeah, it's not a good time. And I'm not gonna unthread that. And then when you try to thread it back in, it's not gonna go back in. So we're just gonna add the grease and leave it alone. And there's no reason to clean this. There's not even sand inside. It's still making that noise because there's metal on metal. If you want to check out the series on this bike, there's a whole bunch of videos on a playlist. It dates all the way back to a whole different frame. If you want to find out the story, I can tell you partly of it. It's a bike that I got at the store, $45 BMX. Destroyed it pretty much. Wheeling, drifting, winter, and then the frame broke in half. And then I took all the parts from my bike and put them on this frame and basically rebuilt the whole bike, and then I painted it, and then someone decided it'd be nice to scratch all the paint off of it. And then I got mad one day, saw it like that, and then I sanded the whole bike. It took me the whole winter to sand it to bare metal because it was original paint and the paint that I put on, and I painted it again. So yeah, it has a story. So I highly suggest, if you like to know what this bike is, to watch that video. There's a playlist. I might link it in the description if I don't forget. Yeah, the threads are definitely messed up because you see how easy it goes in, going in or going out. Someone cross-threaded it and this tightened it so much. There's no stores over here that in Canada sell like axles and stuff like that. Canadian Tires and we have them, right? But what's sell axles? They sell mountain bike parts. They don't care about BMX too much. They don't even want to work on these bikes. When you take a BMX to them, they say, nope, it's not a super cycle. Nope, we don't work on it. So. Yeah, this threading. I don't even know what this is doing. Wow. The bearings are literally falling over on the other side. This is what happens when you don't have your bearing in cage. I normally do this. This would be my move, putting the bearings like this. But I'd rather now, when I have to, when I have to service them, and the axle's bent, and like messed up the threads, then I have to deal with it. Before I used to be the one who used to take them out of the cage and put them in there just like that, right? Because they used to roll faster. I know it rolls faster, but servicing them, putting new grease, not fun. And that's too tight. That's good. Let's see how it spins now. And I did not do this. You see this right here? This cover is like all messed up. I did not do that. Let's see if it spins. It spins nicely, and if it doesn't, not bad. I wish you could spin it with your fingers, but not that good. Maybe it's too tight. Yeah, that's good. It's not perfect. Definitely better than it was. Let's put this back on. Look at the bike. Yeah, the noise is gone. So, we fixed that problem. And discovered a new one. That's how it goes with bikes though. It's not, especially old ones and BMXs especially. But they never die. Unless you break the frame. You cannot kill a BMX unless you break the frame. Like what I did. I didn't break the frame, I went down the curb and the rest is history of that thing. And it was rusty too. It wasn't like a clean frame. You see like the white bike that we have, the drift bike? It was rusty like that. It was worse than that. There's holes in the wells. You know the wells back at the seat stay? Back there had holes in it, in the wells. So when the winter would come, I would ride in the snow. And it got worse. And for those holes that you can see into the frame, I said, oh, I'll fix it. I'll get someone to weld it up. I never did. I just left it like that. And then one day it went down the curb, and the whole back of the bike snapped. And then it was over. So, and then I found this. This was free. The frame. It had its own parts, but it wasn't like in good condition. It was all setting for like 100 years. Not 100 years. You know how long, like when bikes sit. It was bad. I took all my parts, my handlebar, my seat posts, this, you saw me put it in a different video, my pedals, my chain, my freewheel, and put them on this frame. And the gooseneck that you saw in the olden videos, that was the one that was on this. This is from a different book. But we will bring that back, but I need to cut and do some stuff that, you know, like, it's bent. I put too much weight on the handlebar, thinking that it would hold, and I bent the whole gooseneck for the thing, so. There's gonna be a video repainting these soon. The color I wanted to originally paint this bike was gonna be blue, like a dark metallic blue, but they didn't have it. and white. But the white paint, it's not the easiest to paint. So I decided to do this because no one does this. Red and blue, you don't really see it. Red, blue, and black especially. You don't really see bikes like that. So, there's dirt under here. Tells riding it. So look. Noise is gone, rim is straight. The back, I'm not gonna even attempt this today because this is gonna take way too long. It's not bad, but it's not good either. And you see that? That's the freewheel going on. When this turns like this, it's the freewheel that's catching, it's sticking. That's a whole different problem in itself. But so if you like this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like, and I'm gonna have to clean up this mess that I made here. And I'm gonna chew this rim off camera because it's gonna take too long. So I'll see you guys in the next video when we'll be working on this bike again, I think. Yeah.